He opens the book in the very first chapter. He names a number, and it's a couple of thousand people that died directly as a result of fear. Because instead of getting on planes after 9/11 when it was safe to do so, they continued to drive. And driving is more dangerous than flying in a plane. You know, as far as like number of accidents per miles traveled and all that kind of stuff. Just cars are more dangerous. And so the number was a couple of thousand people that died because they wouldn't get on a plane out of fear because of 9/11.
Yeah.
My name is Doug, and welcome back to Occasionally Philosophical.
Yeah, I'm Mark, and welcome back for episode 16, I believe.
16. Wow. We're just flying here by the seat of our pants. And maybe our plane's crashing. We're not quite sure yet.
Yeah. Yeah. It even reminds me of just the fear thing. Like back when I was younger, there started to become like this fear of like kidnapping.
Oh, the preschool thing? Was that it? Or are you thinking of something else?
No, I was just thinking about like kidnappings in general. Like, I don't know. I remember like the Elizabeth Smart, I think it was, and
that name rings a bell.
Yeah, she was kidnapped. I think it was in the 90s, I want to say. But anyways, the point being is that there was like this whole thing about this story that was like this guy in a van is going to offer you free candy and blah, 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 right? It was like this fear that your child was going to get kidnapped somehow, you know. But then like when you kind of break down the statistics, it's like less than 1% of children are ever kidnapped. And out of that, less than 1%, majority, I forget but the majority of that time, it's by a family member. Mm-hmm. You know, whether it's, you know, the mother or the father in a split relationship or custody battle or something like that. So it's like, you know, all these parents are, you know, and then they become helicopter parents or whatever you want to call it, where they're walking around with their kid on a leash, or, you know, or they won't let them go outside and play. And it's like, obviously, you know, once again, this is anecdotal evidence, but I was outside all the time by myself with little to no adult supervision. And, you know, I don't think I ever, you know, had some guy in a van offer me candy, or, you know, like I don't remember anybody, like it's like I don't remember any situation of like anybody even trying, you know, or, you know, kidnap me or you know.
Well, but you know, you're putting your finger right on the point. It's, you know, the difference between the world that you experience on your devices, whether it's your phone or a tablet or your TV, and the world that you actually experience when you just walk out your front door without that filter in front of you. They're very different places.
Right.
You know, and that whole culture of fear and just ramping it all up, and then you see the way that people react, you know, to it in myriad ways, you know, both in the way that they interact with you. You know, you're just walking down the street, and if someone's been caught up in some bubble, you know, media bubble of some kind, they take one look at you and they already figured out who you are and whether they should be afraid of you or not. Yeah. And you haven't even said hi to them yet. And so you haven't even had a chance to be threatening, and they're already afraid of you.